aside from Master Russo and Anshu Hayes, do you have any other like important figures in your martial arts journey that maybe you've trained alongside, you've trained underneath, maybe even that you've taught that have shown you something or helped influence the broadening of your perspective?
I think one that's not related directly to our taijutsu, that taijutsu aspect of our martial art, but Dr. Wayne Dyer, who is a motivational speaker and author. He passed several years ago, but that what I learned from him really augmented what it was that I was learning in the martial arts about intention and how you view things, and just the way that you view things can change the thing that you're looking at. And that really inspired my Toshindo training, because it'd be hard to explain in the time that we have. But again, it's one of those things where you hear something, you are able to internalize it mentally, but how is it going to play out in your life? So there really is something, there's a lot behind how he evolved from being like a clinical psychologist into like the spiritual motivational speaker. So I learned a lot from him. And I tend to, as my training evolves, the members of the club that I manage, there's always something unique about them individually, that the way that I have to explain something to them to get across the point that's trying to be conveyed, it challenges me to how broad can I make this to where everyone can understand it, but at the same time watching somebody move and being able to see not physically why they're not able to do a certain thing where they have a challenge, is you automatically, for me, I get dialed into what aspect of your life are you going through right now that's creating a challenge for you to do this specific move. So it's not like you're physically incapable, because it's all natural body movement.
Sure.
Right? So something other than that is getting in the way. And that's a huge inspiration that I get from learning about those things from the people that train with me, or maybe that I just see in the blink of an eye, like when I visit your place, and it's just like I'm around these folks for maybe an hour or so.
Sure.
But there's always something. Everybody has something, and that's what inspires me to, to want to keep going, because I'm learning about those things, and then at the same time learning how can this help you? How can we help you get through this without worrying about how you physically place your body? So those things are pretty wild. To go through that process. Yeah.
If you were to describe Toshindo to somebody, what about it makes it a uniquely powerful martial art or self-defense system?
So the power in this is the fact that, I think, this first thing that comes to mind, not everyone that studies a martial art, we get into martial arts and we automatically think of fighting, okay, physical self-defense. But you know that the majority of the people that you run across may never get into a physical confrontation. But there's always something, usually that we create, that is putting stress in our lives, or we're experiencing hardship in our lives. And there is nothing that Toshindo doesn't cover that can deal with an aspect on how to improve the quality of your life. So that to me is what makes this art so powerful, is that it can really, if you allow it to, dig deep into what's going on with you as an individual. And then the physical taijutsu aspect of it, you can work on those things at the same time you're doing something like psycho-emotionally to yourself that's making you either step up to the plate or get rid of things that aren't necessary. And it can be the smallest of things, of where you tense up in your body to allowing your mind to wrap around a concept that you're trying to be shown on the mat. That to me is the power of Toshindo, is that it literally can change your life without even delving into how would you protect yourself on the street, because a large percentage of people will never have to defend themselves, but you're emotionally challenged constantly. So I think that's the magic, a big part of the magic of it.
If you could give advice to somebody that's just starting out in the martial art, or if you could go back in time and give advice to Scotty B as a white belt, what would you say?
I think if I could go back and give some advice to myself, I would say, don't take yourself too seriously. This isn't life and death. You know, that's what I like. I changed my life to be able to do this martial art. So I took everything completely seriously. And there were so many aspects of my life that I wouldn't necessarily say it was a mistake not to have experienced those. But for me, my personal journey, I would have said, don't take yourself, the training can be serious. Don't take yourself so seriously. Be gentle going through the training.
Gentle with yourself.
Gentle with yourself, you know, while you're going through the training. And just, you know, pay attention to what's being said to you more than what you want to hear.
That's important.
You know? So you'll go into it with a goal. But your instructors, you know, while they may have a sense of why you're there, their goal is to get everybody moving in the same direction. So listen real close to what specifically is being said and pretend that it's directed solely at you. And then take that advice and then run with it. You know, take those instructions and run with it. And, you know, be patient as well. Be patient. Don't try to be the best every time you come in. Try to be the best learner every time you come in. Don't try to master things in that moment. You know, allow yourself the flexibility to make mistakes. Don't be hard on yourself. That's what I mean about being gentle as well. Don't be hard on yourself if you're not getting something. And just allow yourself to just walk the path. Don't run it. Don't try to change it. Just walk the path that's being laid out in front of you. And then I think you'll learn faster. You'll become more efficient at it. And specifically with this martial art, the quality of your life, you'll see the changes happen fast, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You've been training for a while. Is there any advice that you would give somebody new specifically about maximizing training longevity? Being able to train this into the age where you can see the parallels with your life and the physical lessons and that sort of thing?
Yeah, you know, I think because, you know, as we were talking, this does go hand in hand with your life. So if you're going to do it for the long haul and you see yourself, because I didn't think that, and when I say I didn't think, I wasn't thinking into the future as to how this was going to be for me. I was just enjoying each moment, right? So if you're thinking this is something I could do for a long time, have that in your mind, but then always keep yourself in check, you know, as these moments go along. Is this serving what it is that I need it to, right? If I have a goal of what I want to achieve, yeah, I make that goal, but then I just, of course, work on the process of getting to that goal. So always check in with yourself during that process. If this isn't serving what I need, then why? Why is it not? Do I still have a passion for that? You know, and of course, the time that we're doing this interview, we were just with Anshu on the mat, and he had asked the question, you know, did you ever have the idea that you were going to quit? And I did. And it wasn't because...
I think everybody's hand went up.
Yeah, they did. But for me, it wasn't because I didn't feel like I was getting anything out of it. So I guess what you'd call a long-distance student. We kind of all were back then. But for me as a teenager, and this happened when I was a teenager, for me to go and travel and do all of that, it was a lot. It was a lot to be able to get to training. Now you're addicted to training. And now you have these complications of, for me anyway, getting there. I didn't have a car, and it was challenging. So I made up excuses as to why this wasn't for me. And I was thinking, I'm going to try a different martial art. Before I can even get myself into another dojo, I was like, no, you know, I just can't. I can't do it. I love this too much to allow myself to get derailed. So I figured out what I needed to do to make this happen. Part of the training. You know, are you going to make excuses for yourself? Are you going to be a victim of your circumstances? Or are you going to control what you can and make the best of it? And that's it. I mean, another principle of Toshindo training, life. You know, life. So the longevity, I think, will surprise you. If you decide, I'm going to do this for a long time, you'll look back every now and again and be like, wow, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this for almost 33 years, you know? And then all you can do is say, wow, that was a fun 33. Let's get another 33 in, you know? And then from there, you're just like, okay, one day at a time, one moment at a time.